Welcome back to the channel, Cowboys Nation. Today we've got an intriguing story that could signal a massive turning point for the Dallas Cowboys, one that not only affects the team's offense in a big way, but also speaks volumes about how the franchise is evolving behind the scenes. The headline? George Pickens has arrived in Dallas. That name alone stirs up all kinds of emotions, opinions, and questions among NFL fans. Pickens is undoubtedly a talented wide receiver, a player capable of making electrifying plays and putting up big numbers. But he also arrives with baggage, stories of past frustrations, behavioral issues, and questions about how he'll fit into a team that prides itself on structure, accountability, and a particular way of doing things. So, what does this all mean for the Cowboys? Let's unpack everything, from what insiders are saying, to how teammates are reacting, and what this could all mean moving forward for Dallas and George Pickens himself. Let's begin with the move itself. The Cowboys acquiring George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers was a splash that sent waves across the league. It was unexpected in many ways, not because Pickens wasn't available. There had been whispers for weeks that he was unhappy in Pittsburgh, but because Dallas, traditionally cautious when it comes to players with perceived character concerns, decided to roll the dice. It tells you one thing immediately: they're serious about winning. This isn't the same passive front office we saw last offseason. This time around, Jerry Jones and company seem to have a vision, and more importantly, they're acting on it. Now let's talk about Pickens as a player. You don't have to dig too deep into game film to see his upside. He's explosive off the line, has strong hands, and plays with an edge that can't be taught. At times, that edge can become a double-edged sword, but if honed properly, it's exactly the kind of fire you want from a number 2 receiver lined up opposite CeeDee Lamb. In fact, his raw passion is what makes him stand out. But that same passion has also been misunderstood and misinterpreted, leading to some rocky moments during his time in Pittsburgh. There were sideline blow-ups, rumors of clashes with teammates, and a sense that he wasn't entirely bought into the Steelers' way of doing things. And yet, for all that, you couldn't deny his talent. When the Cowboys made the move to bring Pickens in, it wasn't done blindly. They knew what they were getting, both the upside and the potential challenges. That's where the real story begins. According to Cowboys insider Mike Fisher, there's a concerted effort going on behind closed doors to shield Pickens in Dallas. That word shielded carries a lot of weight. It suggests a proactive approach, a recognition that this is not just about football talent, but about building an environment where Pickens can thrive without self-destructing. The Cowboys are aware of the pressure cooker that is Dallas. The media spotlight is always on. Every move is dissected, every word replayed. They understand that for Pickens to succeed here, they need to create the right structure, and that's exactly what they're doing. Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb are reportedly at the forefront of this plan. They're not just leaving Pickens to figure it out on his own. Instead, they're forming a circle around him, making sure he knows he's supported, valued, and most importantly accountable. Dak Prescott, as the leader of the offense, has a unique role here. He's known for his calm demeanor, steady leadership, and team-first attitude. He's not the type to throw a teammate under the bus, and that's critical for a player like Pickens, who needs a quarterback that believes in him. Behind the scenes, Dak has been in Pickens' ear, talking about expectations, about what it means to be a Cowboy, and about the importance of professionalism both on and off the field. Then there's CeeDee Lamb, arguably the Cowboys' most dynamic offensive weapon. Lamb has already gone public with his support for Pickens, and that's huge. In a recent statement, Lamb praised Pickens for his passion and intensity, while also promising to look out for him as he adapts to life in Dallas. "I knew who he was as a player just by watching him with the Steelers and seeing how passionate he is about the game," Lamb said. "I think critics get it a little twisted. When you're passionate about something, you're willing to do anything for it, right? Just being happy in an organization. I'm not saying he was or wasn't in Pittsburgh, but he hasn't stopped smiling since he got here. That last line is telling. It speaks to a new energy around Pickens, a sense of belonging that may have been missing in Pittsburgh. And let's be honest, sometimes that's all a player needs: a fresh start, a new system, and people around them who genuinely want to see them succeed. The Cowboys are offering him that and more. They're not just handing him a playbook and telling him to figure it out. They're investing in him emotionally, mentally, and professionally. That level of support is rare in the NFL, and it could make all the difference. But let's not sugarcoat things. The pressure is coming. Sooner or later, Pickens will face a moment of adversity. Maybe it'll be a game where he gets only a couple of targets. Maybe it'll be a tough loss. Maybe someone in the media takes a shot at him. When that moment arrives, that's when we'll really see how strong this new support system is. Mike Fisher, the Cowboys insider, acknowledged as much when he said there will be a time and a place when Pickens will feel the pressure and will have to deal with it. But right now, emphasize. That final word, emphasize, suggests that the team is focusing on the now. They're building a foundation, brick by brick, before the storm inevitably comes. Another interesting layer to this story is the dynamic between Pickens and the Cowboys fan base. Dallas fans are passionate, vocal, and not afraid to express their opinions. That can be a double-edged sword. If Pickens starts hot, say, multiple touchdowns in the first few games, he'll become an instant fan favorite. Jerseys will sell out. Social media will explode. But if he struggles early, or shows signs of the behavioral issues that plagued his time in Pittsburgh, the backlash will be swift. That's the reality of playing in Dallas. It's a stage like no other. You're either the hero or the villain, sometimes in the same week. But there's reason for optimism. By all accounts, Pickens is settling in well. He's building chemistry with Dak. He's hitting the weight room hard. He's staying late after practice. And most importantly, he's buying into the culture. That's not always easy for a young receiver with something to prove. But it looks like he understands what's at stake. This isn't just about redemption. It's about legacy. Pickens has the chance to become a cornerstone in Dallas, a player that future stars look up to, a guy who turned his career around not by changing who he was, but by channeling that energy in the right direction. And let's not forget the football side of things. With Pickens on board, the Cowboys' offense suddenly looks a lot more dangerous. Defenses can no longer key in solely on CeeDee Lamb. They'll have to account for Pickens on the other side, which could open up the field for everyone from the slot receivers to the tight ends to the running backs. In the red zone, Pickens becomes a matchup nightmare. He's tall, athletic, and aggressive. He can out-jump most corners and has the hands to make the tough catches. That's a dimension the Cowboys have been missing, and it could be the key to unlocking their full offensive potential. From a financial perspective, the stakes are high. Pickens is on a rookie deal, which means the Cowboys are getting elite talent at a bargain price for now. But if he thrives in 2025, expect his value to skyrocket. Whether Dallas extends him, or he ends up testing the open market, he's playing for his future. That kind of motivation can either create diamonds or lead to cracks. It all depends on the infrastructure around him, and right now, the Cowboys are doing everything they can to make sure it's the former. So what does all of this mean for the team moving forward? It means they're taking chances, but calculated ones. It means they're not just sitting back and hoping things work out. They're identifying high-upside players, putting plans in place, and betting on their culture to bring out the best in those players. That's a winning formula. It's how dynasties are built. You take talented guys who maybe didn't fit elsewhere, you bring them into a strong locker room, and you watch them thrive. George Pickens might be the latest example of that formula working. If he stays focused, buys in, and keeps his emotions in check, there's no ceiling on what he can achieve in Dallas. He has the talent to be a Pro Bowler, the swagger to become a fan favorite, and the drive to turn this opportunity into something special. The Cowboys see that, and more importantly, they believe in it. And that belief, that willingness to not only acquire talent but to nurture it, is what could make all the difference. So as we head into the new season, all eyes will be on George Pickens. Every catch, every touchdown, every sideline moment will be scrutinized. But behind the scenes, a support system is quietly at work, ensuring that when the spotlight shines the brightest, he'll be ready. And if that plan works, if Pickens blossoms into the star many believe he can be, then this could go down as one of the most important moves in recent Cowboys history. Thanks for watching, Cowboys Nation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more content coming your way, including insider reports, player interviews, and game previews as we get closer to kickoff. Until next time, stay strong, stay loyal, and go Cowboy.